Welcome to Attican Plays Farm Manager 2021. All right, hi, this is Attican and welcome to Series 4, Episode 3 of Nerd. The Nerd scenario, we're going to wrap it up with this one, and I'm just going to walk you through some highlights and some things that I learned along the way, and maybe some things that will help you out. So here's the end product, at least where I've stopped. Back here so we can see this thing. We've got cattle. We've got 5 modules of cattle. And we've got 8 fields of crops growing to feed the cattle. And we've got 18 factories that we're running, food processing plants. And those food processing plants are making butter and white cheese and yellow cheese. And they are especially making a lot of the yellow organic cheese. There 8 of these 12 are dedicated to that. And 2 reasons. One, that's the biggest bang for your buck. That's the most profit you make. But the other reason is I was trying to stress the system. I'm trying my best to get one of these products down to a point where it's has a huge negative demand. But here you see butter organics at 0, cow cheese organics 0, yellow cow cheese is 0. The organic, which has 8 factories running, is only at -4. The cow's milk organics at -7. Oh, there we go. -7 on that. That's a little better. Now, amazing. Think about that. The cow's milk organics at -7. We've got 6,700 units to sell, yet we're making all that yellow cow cheese. Cow's milk is at -5. Butter's at 0, and cow cheese is at 0. So, why was I trying to stress it? Well, because we finished all of our research, and one of the research is the one I'm still not totally sure what it does, which is increases the minimum price of products and crops by 10, 20, and 30%. I believe that means if you're at rock bottom, like you got demand at -40, you're getting the worst possible prices, that you'll get 30% if you've done all this, 30% above that on your prices. So it protects you from overproduction a little bit. But I'm having a real hard time overproducing. I really am. And a lot of this I just let it run, but I did do some experiments. So let's look at some of the things that we learned. First of all, the production rates. We calculated them using kind of, if this produces 140 and we're producing X, what does this need to be? Now the good news is that no matter which product you take in the processing plant, you'll get the same answer, because what happens is, I'm pointing out here, they're making 250 are making different amounts of the goods. But if you take the total production that you're getting out of your plant and do your calculation, the answer is 6,300 units of milk to run a plant for a month, period, no matter which product you pick. So that's good news. So I think our little estimates were okay. We had at one point, we had 12 of them running. That was the theoretical calculation we came up with earlier. And it was doing okay, but it struggled. It couldn't quite. So I knocked it down to 5 to 10. And that seemed to do just fine. And that was just off this one right here. And then I got into some expansions. And I'll show you those in a moment. But I want to talk about happiness. So I did some experimentation with happiness and its effect on gameplay. Does it mean anything? It turns out it does. So I built a house intentionally distanced from where the people were going to work, and gave them some nice decorations so they could walk down there and see a beautiful view on their way to work. And what I found was this. First of all, the decorations absolutely help. And to a point, and then they stop helping anymore. So if we look at Lewis Palmer here, he's getting a wage bonus, and I'm going to let this run and watch him because he's not getting a decorations bonus, and that makes no sense to me. There, he just walked by just a whole bunch of there. Now he's kicked in. Now he's got his decorations bonus. I don't know if he was a recent hire or what the deal is, but anyway, we can see here we get a 15% decoration bonus. That's as much as you can get, and it comes down to very, very simply: do they walk by 15 decoration objects? And they kind of get a 1% for each one. That's I don't know if it's literally that simple, but it's really, really pretty close. So that's one thing. We can get them a happiness, move toward their happiness with that, and you can give them a pay raise. Now, I just went through and as a first cut and just made everybody max pay raise, right? But if we go back here, if we go back to there's their standard pay. Notice his happiness is just this, but we lost something. See this, the bonus? This is huge. You get a 10% bonus on field yield size, so your cultivation, your crops, on animal production, so all your sheds, and factory production. So if you have a person working who has this happiness bonus, there's a 10% increase in the production coming out of that factory or coming out of that shed or coming out of that farm, that crop field. Now, how do you get that? Well, it's really, really easy. What you want is some combination of decoration and wages that will get you that bonus. And that bonus kicks in at 70% right there. But it appears you have to have a 10% wage increase. Now, if we had, I'm fairly certain, don't quote me because I haven't tested this, but if we had a 10% wage increase and we could have less decorations than 15, and you would still get that, it's 75%, you would get your work bonus, and this guy would produce extra in the factory. And what we've got going here is, look at this. We've got everybody happy, everybody overproducing. Now, I'm overpaying them, I will tell you. There's no point, I can't find a reason to pay them that much extra. The only reason you do that is if you had no decorations. You could just pay them a bunch of money and you get your bonus. But that, to me, is a waste of money. Because what you can do, we're going to take her back to neutral, okay? 1, doesn't get it. 2, gets it. So if you give them a 10% wage increase, throw some decorations around, then you can get the bonus production off each employee. And in the next video I do, I'll show you a very nice way I've come up with to kind of make sure you get that decorations bonus without having to drive yourself crazy putting fences around factories and stuff like that. As far as this distance goes, it's actually a bad thing. You can actually get poor production. I'm going to show you that right down here. But I've got this silage. I've got 2 organic and non-organic, organic, non-organic, 2 sets of them here. People walk, these employees walk down here, then they have to walk back to the barn to get the grass that they're using to make the silage. Then they have to walk back to the barn to put the silage in that they just made. And what's happening here, if we look at production for our silage operations, they're at 50%. And the only reason they're 50% is this distance right here. I believe any product you're going to make, if you're worried about efficiency, by the way, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, you know, you could do just fine without that. But if you want efficiency, you want your house, your inputs, outputs, all close to each other, as we've said before. And I can tell you that if we had this barn and the house like right next to these, that 2 of these 2 could make as much as these 4 are making now, because both of them are running inefficiently. These are the employees for this one are coming out of this house, but just the same, they have to walk over to the barn, walk back, walk over, walk back, long walk from their house. Get rid of all that crap, and next thing you know, you're efficient. So you want your houses right in the action, kind of like this, You want to have some decorations, kind of like that. And you want to give people pay raises, just enough to get the bonus. And you want that bonus because I want to show you what that means. Remember this guy right here. When we had all level 5s and we were tickled with the production we were getting $3.25 per milking. You might have missed that one. Here comes another one. I'll show you what we're getting now. $3.58. So we're getting $3.58 every milking out of this instead of $3.25. Now, why is that? Because now we have these people with their bonuses on here, and we would still, as I've said, we would still get that if we're just giving them a 10% raise, right? So I could have, this economy could be even so much stronger if I wasn't paying out quite so much in wages. Would it be worth it? Yeah, I might call timeout and go through and do that. It'll take a while, but I might go through and do that and just kind of correct all these wages and see what our economy. No, I'm not going to. That's a lot of work. Next time we play, we'll do it that way. Now another interesting thing is, well, you can see here. I wanted to come up with a better design, and I wanted to look at logistics. So I came out here and did a medium cowshed design like this, where we have the warehouse, manure, and silo facing this way, and then a matching set facing that way, and then barn facing this way, barn facing that way, so that no matter where you're working, it's a short haul. You won't get one of these deals where you come out of here and have to walk around, around here to get supplies or to put some milk in storage. You just walk across the street. So it's meant to be very, very quick walking, but on top of that, it's also designed to have logistics coverage. So I put logistics on each corner for these medium ones, and then set them up, limited their range so that they're only covering like 4 of the pens. And they've just got our delivery sites, our input-output sites in their radius. So now, because what happens is this, I had to watch this for a while. I was thinking, well, you're just getting extra workers here. No, you're not. You're just getting trucks. That's all these are. This is a big truck garage. In fact, my criticism of it, why does it have to be that big? It's just gigantic. 4 trucks parked on a farm takes up that much space. But anyway, it does. So I'm sure there'll be a mod out soon with a smaller one. But what it is, there's 4 trucks here, and these people, when they need to haul stuff like 700 milk or something, they will walk over here, get a truck, go do their delivery, and then bring the truck back. So what you have to be aware of is if you're going to use logistics, you can't just throw them down willy-nilly like I've been doing and think it's all going to help, because it isn't. Because what you're doing now, let's pretend there were none of these buildings on this farm, none. And then I go in and put one like right here, right? And then I'm going to raise its radius, okay? So you can see it's covering way out here. Do you know that a person working here who needed to haul a load of stuff into his storage would he wouldn't have to, but he might walk, and he probably will at some point walk all the way down here, all the way across here, all the way down here to that thing, get a truck, drive it all the way back, do his delivery, then take the truck back and walk back home. In other words, he would waste an entire day. So what you don't want are these randomly placed logistics buildings with big ranges. You absolutely do not want that. You want them like this. You want them in a nice little tight area like that, so that they just cover a select few places, and you don't have to worry about people taking long hikes to them. So I found as soon as I got this in here like this, this became extremely efficient, and they do a great job hauling stuff. And you see I've got decorations in here so that they're all just happy as they can be. And I'm overpaying them, but that's okay. And this one was a little messed up because of the end up here. You turn them one way and they would fit. You turn them the other way and they wouldn't fit. So I went down here and made sure I had enough space, and I really like this one. I even put the Attican logo on it. But really, I love this one. This is just, to me, it's symmetrical. It's efficient. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I liked it so much, I duplicated it and built another one. Because I was trying to stress the system. I'm having trouble stressing the system. And then finally, the large cow sheds came in through our training, and I decided, well, we got to see what that looks like. So I built one for the large cow sheds. It is not optimized for logistics and should be. Probably we would want to do something like, turn this down even more than it is, right? And turn this one down even more than it is. And then buy land up here and put a couple more in and have them pick off some of the ones up here, and that would be a much better system. So anyway, we're producing a lot of milk. Now, when I said I don't really trust those ratios we built with productions, one of the reasons is this. If we go to, remember how it got to, like, when we just had this, it got to 1132. Well, look what we're making per month now. In theory, the way we were reading it, per cow, 7,544 milk per month per cow. So it'd be 7,544 times 368. We have 368 cows, and they still have the defect where we have 0 organic. Yeah, we don't have any organic cows. That is not correct. Half of these cows are organic, but just the same, that's a ton of production. But there's no flipping way we're making that much per cow. That just can't be. But on the other hand, it can't be that that's just the total we're making per month, because we're selling. We're moving stuff into warehouses and selling more. So maybe, I don't know what that number means anymore. I thought it meant per cow. It should be how you read it. That would be consistent with everything else. And let me show you, like, if we look at our buildings here, if we look at our production list for our products, we are making 23,000 units of yellow cow cheese organic per month, and we're making revenue of $750,000 per month of revenue on that cheese. And then you can see all the others, they're all good. Everything's good. We're even making tiny amounts on our silage. So that's kind of where we are. While we're at that, let's just take a look. Estimated monthly budget, we're at $3.3 million in profit per month, and annually $41 million in estimated profit per month. And I finally figured out how to read this graph, at least. I've got one graph I figured out. This 41,900, that is what we have right now. Okay, so that's our current state. And then if we look at our, it shouldn't be estimated, our projected profit per month is 3.3 million, which says if we're at 41.9 now, in a month, we're going to be at 45,272. If for a year, if we're at 41.9, a year from now, we're going to be at 83 million in cash. Okay? Weekly, we're going up almost 2%. We'd go from 41.9 to over 42.5. Daily, we're going up 93,000 a day. So we're profiting almost 100,000 a day on our little tiny dairy farm. So we talked about logistics. We talked about a nice medium cowshed design. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you the production out of these large ones with happy level 5 people working them. And that's hot. 626, making 626 milk every milking on these large cow sheds. It's a lot of milk. I want y'all to understand, maybe you're thinking, well, you're paying them 10% more. What's the big deal? My goodness gracious, it's huge. If I can pay you 10% more and make 10% more revenue off of your work, those aren't the same thing at all. It's a big, huge benefit to the farm if you can produce 10% more, which means we can sell 10% more, which means we make 10% more revenue, which is much greater than the 10% we're giving you in a raise. So it means a lot to our farm, and it elevates our money a lot. So let's just, did I do this already? I guess I did. The 3.36 million per month, and a year 41 million a year that we're making. So anyway, there we go. That's our little dairy farm. Remember, we had the constraints: dairy only. Then we constrained it some more and made it cows only, so we didn't do sheep and goats. And we talked about production rates. We still need to know them. Oh, the other one is consumption rates. Does anybody know these? The rates at which the animals consume the products? Because that, if you really want to optimize, you have to know that. If you don't know that, how in the world could you do anything to figure out how many fields you need, and other than just watching it, and then building some more every time it gets low or something. But that's just reaction. I mean, we should have the ability, if we're going to really manage a farm, if we're farm managers. Now, if we're just a farmer, you might go out and plant another crop. If you're a farm manager, you want to know the production and consumption rates so that you can match everything up and be efficient. So anyway, there you go. That's the tycoon playing element of the game, and the part that I like, actually. So anyway, there you go. There's our farm. Hope you enjoyed that. Hit that like button if you want this to keep going. And I'm enjoying the game. I think I am going to keep going. I was going to actually kind of get a stop here. There are some things about the game that are very repetitive. I spent a lot of time. This one I spent a ton of time playing it because you had to slug your way through it. But there's a couple more scenarios I want to do. And then what I really want to do, I think, is an extreme one. I want to set everything on extreme and play it from there. I think that'll be fun. But I think to be able to do that, we really need to understand the game well, or you're just going to be, it's going to be very tough, very tough. I'm at a point, honestly, I think I could, I think I could do it right now, but I want a couple more things I want to get under my belt before I hit the extreme button. And I want to keep making these because I think most people do not play on extreme, and so they want to know how to do this. So hopefully this is helping some people, and we'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it'll help you become a better player. I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for our next Farm Manager 2021 video. Thank you.